What's going on, guys? Ange here, Fishhound Outdoors, coming at you with another one. It's late winter, early spring here in Maine. What that means is it's ice out on the ponds and lakes. It means that those smelt are getting ready to run. And when those smelt run, the big fish are targeting those smelt. So tonight, we're going to do a smelt pattern. Pretty traditional style pattern for the state of Maine. It's a black ghost. This is probably more of a utilitarian version of it. I don't use any of the jungle cock. I don't think it's really necessary. You can get by with no eye or just painting an eye on the head. We're doing a size 4 long shank. I think it's a 4X long streamer hook. And we're just doing standard 8/0 uni thread, black, tying on, wrapping back, right about to where the hook point is on the shank. It's a good point to stop. And then what we do is we take a nice tuft of yellow saddle hackle. Take about that much. We tie that in at the base as a tail. Just get a couple wraps around. Once it's secured, I like to snip my hackle a little long, and that's just because it's a slippery fiber like any natural fiber. And then I just a couple wraps up front, and then a nice clean tail can always be achieved by coming under like that a couple times. Get it to kind of stand up against the hook shank. Beautiful. Clean up that tag end a little bit. Can't be mad at that. So this fly is pretty critical to have a clean body because it's a thread body fly, which means that you're going to see any bumps or mishaps that you have down below when you finally show the finished product. So next, once we have a little bit of a start of, once we have that tail secure, kind of starting to make our body, we come in here with just standard mylar tinsel, medium. Gold on one side, silver on the other. The old trick is you tie the side, the color you don't want up. So I don't want gold, so I'm tying silver against the shank of the hook. And then just as lickety-split as you can, you clean it up, make a nice even thread body. As always on Fishhound Outdoors, we don't cut, we don't edit. You're gonna see how long it takes to build a thread body. It's not a forever thing, but it does take a while. I apologize for the camera shaking. So this is a great pattern that if you're trying to get it to sink fast, you could wrap some lead in here. That would help with the bulk of the body. We don't want too bulky of a body because it will not cut through the water correctly. And then I like to leave a nice big space for my head because we got to tie in that top wing. We got to tie in the throat. It takes a lot more than you think. All right. Once the base of the body's all laid out like that, we're coming in with our mylar tinsel, using that true rotary action, advancing all the way up with that silver. Come around twice, give it a snip, shorten that thread up. Mylar is a little bit of a slippery substance if you're not careful. So make sure you lock it in with a couple of extra thread wraps before you move on to the next material. It's good. There we go. It's a nice base looking so far. Now we're going to come in with the tip of that hackle that we tied in at the base. We pull off, half the amount of fibers that we used to make the tail. I flip the fly over, couple of wraps, we stand her right up. Make sure you trim her nice and short. And any of the pesky kind of straggler fibers, I like to grab now and wrap up. Don't build too big of a head, but you're just trying to keep a nice clean front end there. And then the final step, we're going to come in with a white saddle hackle. No particular brand. Just get a nice, as full of a one as you can. This seems like a good candidate right here. And pull it off. So what we're going for here is profile. What I'm right about. This might be a little bit fat for what we're going for. I think this might be a better option for us. There we go. So we line it up, get the length we want. This is what I do. I pinch it, and I separate the rest of the hackle fibers. And I do apologize, it's a little bit hard to see white on white, but I know that you guys are getting the point. So nice and straight, nice and vertical, right on top of the hook shank, right in that separation of fibers. We put 3 good wraps. Nothing too hard, just 3 good wraps. Okay? Straighten it up, make sure our fibers are nice and straight. And then we try to cut that tag end as cleanly as possible. And then we start forming our head. And this locks in that top wing. So just like with the tail, I like to do a couple of wraps underneath that top wing. That helps it really stand up away from the body, give the profile you're looking for. Any of these white straggler fibers from the hackle, I try to trim. And then you don't have to be crazy about it, but a nice little head. And this is where, if you wanted to, you could paint a little white dot. I don't really know if it's needed. You're fishing this a lot of times in low light conditions, so it's a lot of contrast, a lot of movement, I think, is what's triggering the fish. And then just to finish it off, we're coming in with a whip finish. To finish it off. And if you wanted to, because I've been asked in the last week about it, some loon, hardhead clear, great for this pattern to really seal it up. Keep yourself a scrap tag end of hackle. Once you clear coat your head here, which I'll show you to do right now. Stuff's a little bit thick, but paint it on nice and easy. Get all the thread wraps that you can. Almost time for a new bottle of this stuff. So you're worried about having a little bit of the glue in the eye of your fly. You take that tag end of a piece of hackle and you go right through your eye when that glue is still wet. You stick that to something important, and now you have a perfectly good fly. You can check it, see how vertical that wing is. What a beautiful classic American pattern here on Fishhound Outdoors. Guys, like, comment, subscribe for more content. We'll see you again with another one. Fishhound Outdoors.